Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and this is a word of caution regarding watching pick a card love readings. So while there is nothing inherently wrong with wanting to know where you stand with the love interest on your mind, the reason why you're wanting to know where you stand with them matters greatly, as it can greatly impact your mental and emotional well-being. So a very good question to ask yourself when it comes to why you're watching pick a card love readings is, am I simply curious or am I actually clinging? Holding on to hope isn't always a good thing, especially if it's keeping you stuck in limerence or in codependence. The last thing I want to do is to enable limerence and codependence with the content that I create. I want to help you create a life in which you're truly thriving, not keep you stuck in survival mode. And I know how it all works because I've been there. So this is where grace, knowledge, understanding, and compassion come in. It's okay if the only way you're able to self-soothe in this moment is by way of participating in coping mechanisms, distractions, and the like. As long as you're also doing yourself a favor by learning how to heal the wounding that has been fueling any limerence and or codependent patterns that you might have. My promise to you is that as you heal the wounding, your dependency on your SP, which means specific person, aka the person on your mind, or your ex, will begin to dissolve naturally, to the point where you're not even curious about what they're thinking and how they're feeling about you anymore. I know this to be true from personal experience. When you're ready to start healing the wounding, I have some amazing resources to get you going. My personal recommendation is to start with 2 videos, how to stop manifesting separation, and then the other one is called Releasing the Wants. Both videos will be linked in the description box below. My heart is always with you guys, and with that I bid you more happy viewing. Love, Michelle. Pile 1, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. If you're not new here, welcome back. What's up, besties? Okay. All right, what we're doing with this pick a card reading today, you guys, we're tapping in and channeling through. This is a situationship reading, okay? So where there's a lot of things we're going to be delving into. For those of you where it's more of a casual connection with your person or a friends with benefits or a situationship, we're going to be looking at their honest thoughts and feelings towards you and towards the connection. Do they love you, or do they have romantic, deeper feelings towards you? Do they see a future with you beyond like the situationship dynamic? We'll look into whether or not there are any third parties, and if so, how do you compare? And then we'll see whether or not they want to commit, or if they can see themselves committing, just stuff like that. All right, you guys, so pile 1, just keep in mind it's a collective general reading, so whatever resonates, take it, run with it, claim it, do whatever you want with it. If something isn't resonating or it's not quite landing, just drop that information and leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating for. I do have personal readings available if you want me to tap exclusively into the energy of you and your person's connection. And just check the description box below for booking details. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category. If you want a reading that is similar to this one, where we do a deep dive into your guys' connection and how your person feels and what they want to do and their next actions and all that good stuff, check out the Confusing Love Connection. That's linked in the description box below, that personal reading, and there is payment plans available. All right. Or I do have a lot of $25 readings that you can check out as well. All right, pile 1. So you guys were drawn to the, let's see, the pink tourmaline and quartz. Let's get your person's overall energy towards you in the connection. Overall, their main default energy, we have home in the reverse. And then we have the 2 of Cups, the 7 of Cups reverse, and the 8 of Cups. Oh, wow, the 8 of Cups, all this cup energy. Yeah, there's feelings here right off the bat. I don't even need to ask that question. We got the 2 of Cups here. But Your person's not entirely comfortable in those feelings, okay, in those deeper feelings. There's, you know, at the very least, there is feelings. There's romantic feelings. For some of you, it's love, okay, that your person has and feels towards you. Let's see what home has to say. Home in the reverse says, if you don't feel at home, it's time to do a thorough and fearless inventory. What are you hiding from? Are you afraid of being yourself? Do you feel that you don't belong where you are? What if you choose another path? Does your understanding of home perhaps dictate that such a place must be unsafe, unstable, or unfulfilling? It's time to love yourself and create a new sense of safety and security within. You might have chosen a situation that is familiar and led you back to the original source of your pain, no matter what, because this is an important and powerful invitation to a new you. Oh, it says no matter. Like, it doesn't matter, because this is an important and powerful invitation to a new you. Say no to the pain of the past. Say no to the voice of your inner critic. Say no to those who want to dim your light to make themselves brighter. Choose a new home. Take refuge in knowing that beauty and a true sense of belonging lie ahead. Yeah, and then, you know, your person may feel just unsafe, ungrounded, or unsure of romantic connections inherently. We'll see if this energy is, if home energy is just an overall energy they're in general, or if that is specific to you in this connection. Your person could be holding within their mind, you know, or keeping close to the vest, you know, keeping close to their heart, pain from the past, pain they've experienced either from a past relationship or you, right? If they had a close, intimate relationship with you at some point. For a lot of you, this could just be your person just not feeling at home in romantic connections overall, in committed romantic relationships. Your person could just be more comfortable and feel more at ease within a situationship or a casual dynamic, even if there are feelings there, which there are with the Two of Cups. All this emotion, there's feelings here. This is all cup energy, okay? The fact that the Two of Cups showed up in the upright position is very revealing. Your person, pile one, may have chosen the situationship model because it's familiar, even though it doesn't seem to be meeting their deeper emotional needs. Your person could be feeling a nudge from their higher self to stop dimming themselves and choose a relationship dynamic that's more nourishing, but they haven't actually chosen that yet, but they're feeling the nudge to, okay? The Two of Cups says that there are real emotional feelings here. It's mutual, right? The love that you feel for them, the care, the affection that you feel for them, they feel the same. There's a mirroring there. It's at least meaningful to them, right? So, you know, your person, even though the dynamic itself is casual, the feelings are not, as far as your person is concerned. They do feel a deep bond or a resonance with you. Even though they are treating the connection as something that, and they're showing up in the connection as something that is casual, that's not their feelings for you. Okay, you're not the energy they have and they feel towards you. The overall general energy towards you, pile one, is not. It's not casual, even though the dynamic itself is casual. Even though they are showing up that way, and even though they are treating the connection as one that is casual, that's not the feelings that they have. They don't feel casual towards you, okay? So with the Seven of Cups showing up reversed, your person is either beginning to see through their own illusion that it's casual, or they're feeling stuck in indecision, feeling maybe paralyzed by, it could be options. Although with the Seven of Cups showing in the reverse, this is your person. There's either clarity that they're feeling. This could be looping back to the Two of Cups, like you're the only quote unquote option that they're really interested in. We will see if there are third party options that they're dabbling in, but if there are, you know, this is already an indication that you're really, like, if there are other options, you're your person's favorite choice, okay? But, you know, Seven of Cups in the reverse in a love reading can talk about no other options, okay? Not dabbling in any other options. So we'll see. And then with the Eight of Cups in the reverse, this is your person feeling stuck emotionally. So they haven't, and they're not walking away from you, but they're also not fully choosing you or fully walking towards a committed path with you yet, right? And if your person, if there is separation here, the Eight of Cups in the reverse can talk about them returning, okay? You know, the Eight of Cups in the reverse here, within the context of this reading and the energies that is coming out, this feels like it's the classic, you know, dynamic of I want something more with pile one, but I'm afraid of what I'd have to leave behind, okay? Even though the Seven of Cups is in reverse here with the Two of Cups in the upright position, this is giving me the feeling that your person really, truly doesn't want to be with anybody else. But it could be a fear of missing out, right? So there's an inner battle going on between your person where they see you as being the only one that they really just vibe with, the only one that they possibly even want to vibe with. There's a fear of fully choosing you in this connection. And it could be like, you know, it could be a fear of closing the door to other options for some reason. So overall, your person, pile one, is feeling emotionally conflicted and stuck, okay? There's an inner tug of war going on. Deep down, your person feels a genuine emotional connection with you as reflected by the Two of Cups, but they don't yet feel at home anywhere, probably largely within themselves, right? It's very difficult for someone to give what they don't already have an abundance of. It doesn't even have to be an abundance, but this is your person. It's like they don't have a cup of love to offer you because they don't have a cup of love available. They got to have it available to themselves first before they can even give it to someone. You know, that's like, you know, your person might want to give you like $100, but they don't have it to give. Like their bank account is on zero, right? So there is a longing for emotional intimacy, but there's also resistance to the vulnerability that requires of them. So your person could be in the early stages of awakening to the truth of what this connection really is, but they're still afraid of choosing it fully because doing so would require them to maybe stop hiding from their pain. It would require them to heal maybe some old narratives stemming from, you know, old narratives that might perpetuate feelings of unworthiness or instability. And it could also require your person to possibly have to walk away from addictive patterns, escapism, walk away from past attachments. Your person hasn't let go of you. They're not letting go of you, but they're not showing up either. You know, pile one, your person's hovering at like a threshold. So they're feeling the pull to commit, to maybe make this connection something more, to spend more time with you. But they're also feeling resistance to the transformation that might be required in order to do that. Okay, so let's find out now their thoughts and feelings towards you. do one more shuffle. Pile one's person, what are your honest, true thoughts and feelings towards pile one at this time? There we got healing core wounds. Okay, that's good news. That's going to shift your person. So for those of you where because I am picking up for those of you where you're drawn to pile one, your person, the reason why they have these feelings for you, they have this love for you, and they're not making it into something more, is because they are holding very close to themselves a memory of being hurt by someone in their past, like a past relationship, right? Where they gave their all to somebody and they were crushed as a result in some way. And so that's what's been keeping them. It's like fear of being hurt like that again. And so they're in the process of healing whatever that wound is, or any kind of a wound that has been, you know, it could be an abandonment wound and or an attachment wound. And they are in the process somehow of healing that wounding, getting over what was done to them in the past by, you know, during a past relationship. And so that's gonna eventually, you know, help your person to feel more at home and more at ease within this connection. You know, there's always a threat, right, of somebody leaving or a relationship not working out, but your person is healing the core wounding that has been largely influencing their decision to keep this connection more casual, or as a more casual dynamic. Let's get a couple more. And for those of you where, and it says in parentheses to get and stay sober. So if your person has addiction issues that may have been getting in the way, they're in the process of healing that as well. Okay, for those of you that know that your person deals with some kind of an addiction to something. That could be substances, it could be just, you know, sex addiction, even just addiction in general. Okay, let's get a couple more. Their thoughts and feelings towards pile. I'm afraid of losing you. Aw. Okay. Yeah, so even though the dynamic itself, like the label of this connection might be very casual, friends with benefits or situationships, the feelings between the two of you are not. Your person is afraid of losing you, pile one, okay? They are feeling attached to you. Enjoying the silence. We'll see what that's about. So if you guys are separated right now, at the bottom of the deck we have I know we can work through this. I'm getting a sense from your person that they're kind of in the background. So some of you, your person has withdrawn completely. Maybe, of course, if it's a situationship or a casual connection, it's not really a breakup, right? Unless pile one, you know, you have walked away from this connection because you want something more, or they walked away because you wanted something more, or something. Again, with that Eight of Cups in the reverse, there is a return to you and to this connection that is in the process of unfolding, okay? Your person, in the meantime, it's like they're kind of, and it could be that they're preparing themselves because they're realizing like life that they're living as somebody who's, you know, officially single versus the life that they're going to be living as somebody who is officially taken by you. It's almost like they're just kind of they're taking in the last bits of singlehood, you know, almost like getting it out of their system. But I'm not picking up them getting it out of their system in a way of like, oh, let me go, you know, sow all the wild oats out of can. It's not that, especially with the Seven of Cups in the reverse. This is just like your person maybe enjoying, you know, not having to answer to anybody or explain themselves. Not that they're against that, but that might be part of single life that they have enjoyed up until this point, right? Not having to feel accountable or responsible to somebody, like they're getting that out of their system. Enjoying the silence could also talk about, and you know, with home in the reverse, there could be a lot of noise internally going on with your person, just overall, in some areas that directly affect their ability to feel at home with you, or within the, you know, the, I don't want to say the confines of a romantic connection, but it is what it is, right? And so as they are healing their core wounding that has this home energy showing up in the reverse, again, because it is showing up in the reverse, it's still there, right? That wounding is still there, but they are in the process of healing it. And so what I'm being told is at some point in time, that Two of Cups energy was also in the reverse. And as they're healing, they're allowing themselves to experience more and more of their feelings for you, where maybe they, up until this point, they had blocked them off, right? What I'm hearing is that the feelings have always been there, but they've been walling those feelings off because they never felt, I shouldn't say never, but ever since they had, some of them it may have been never. Your person may not have ever felt comfortable truly expressing their thoughts and feelings, or really, you know, you see what I'm saying? And that could have caused some problems in whatever that past relationship that your person maybe felt crushed by when it ended, right? And so something about attachment here, your person up until this point has felt very uncomfortable with feeling attached and bonded to somebody. They're healing that though, and as they are healing that, you know, this home energy will eventually shift to be in the upright position. And it's at that point in time I feel like your person, you know, will feel more at ease with committing themselves wholly and fully to your guys' connection. Let's see. Yeah, your person's afraid of losing you. They don't want to lose you to anybody else, okay? Tell me about enjoying the silence, though. And again, at the bottom of the deck, your person says, I know we can work through this, okay? And so there is some kind of dissonance between the two of you. There may be an instance, I mean, you know, especially if you know, you're wanting a committed relationship and they want to keep things casual. That's your person saying, like, I don't want to lose you, pile one. I don't want you to feel like you have to go to another connection or go in search of another connection. This is almost your person coming through. It's not a very strong energy. I can pick up on the desire to want to give you something more committed, but the fear is still stronger than the faith, okay, when it comes to committing. Your person is afraid of being hurt again, okay? They're afraid of having their heart broken again. Tell me about enjoying the silence. The Knight of Swords reversed. Is this internal chatter? Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, so as your person is healing, because right now there's more fear. The closer they get to you, there's more fear that's being triggered than there is comfort, right? Because there is comfort there that your person could tap into, but because the wounding is still very much there and active, it's kicking up a lot of noise, okay? And it's that noise as your person is healing that they're really starting to feel, enjoy the silence of. It's that internal negative chatter. Your person could have some kind of internal negative, like, what do they call it? Like an inner critic or an inner parent that is very critical, very judgmental, very mean-spirited. And that's what your person, yeah, that's what they're working to silence with the Three of Pentacles, clarifying the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Okay, as their inner world starts to get a lot more calm, a lot more positive, that'll start to be reflected in their actions and their behaviors within your guys' connection, okay? Let's see, what's next? We're going to find out, do they see a future with you? Let's find out. What future do they see for this connection? What future are they seeing? future are they seeing? Okay, back of the deck, we got Chaser. Okay, so we have opposites. It says differences creating a barrier, love and strife, love versus ego, two opposing forces. And then we have cutting ties and separation, leaving before it gets worse, cutting your losses. Yeah, there's fear still that's driving the bus when it comes to your person. Dry spell in the reverse. They know that the two of you will never have a dry spell, like as far as like sexual connection goes. That might be why they yeah, that's letting you know they're still projecting into the future, and that projection is still coming from a place of fear, right? Because they are still in the process of healing whatever wounding is keeping your person feeling more comfortable in separation than union, right? The reason why they've kept things up until this point casual in this connection with you is because they see, or they're projecting fears of problems. You guys are different, right? There might be some fundamental differences that your person might fear could cause some problems between the two of you. They're not, when it comes to like your guys' sexual, the sexual aspect of it, it's like there's no problem there, right? But when they look at the fundamental day-to-day workings of a committed relationship, that's where the problems, like they're wondering and they're fearing like that maybe you guys are opposites in a way that could cause problems in like an everyday kind of a connection. They're still seeing or connecting to a future where the two of you aren't working out, and that's what's driving, at least now, right? Because they're still healing. They're not healed yet. Right now they're still listening to the voices of fear because they haven't healed the wounding that's powering those voices. They're in the process of doing that though. So right now they're still orientated and from a space of fear. They're still focusing on your guys's maybe differences in lifestyle, some differences, what they might be thinking are core fundamental differences, right? They're still seeing like the two of you maybe having to cut ties or to leave before it gets worse, and it has something to do with whatever some differences are. Let's look at those real quick. What differences are here? Whatever differences you have, they're like, it's not sex, right? They're like whatever you guys got going on in the bedroom as far as like sexual or romantic intimacy goes, they're cool with that. But there's something about maybe some lifestyle differences that your person is looking at. Tell me more about differences creating barrier, two opposing forces. Okay, we got the King of Wands in the reverse. Your person could know, what's this juggling act here with the Two of Pentacles? Let me look real quick. Okay. Your person, okay, so your person could legitimately be addicted to sex, okay? Addicted to third parties, addicted to needing attention and validation from third parties that they're needing to work through. And that is coming from a space of like with the King of Wands in the reverse. That's somebody who doesn't feel confident within themselves. So they have to go looking for validation and attention from third parties, okay? That's them taking on almost full accountability for like the differences that they're clocking between the two of you is coming from them and their inability to fully choose you and completely wall off other options. And the reason why they would want options isn't because of you or anything that you are or are not doing. It's coming from a void within them, okay? And The fact that that is showing up underneath healing core wounds, whatever core wounding that they are healing is going to help your person not need or feel addicted to third-party energy anymore. Because they're being fueled by a sense of not feeling good enough. Maybe not feeling attractive enough, and so they might go fishing for compliments from third parties, in the form of possible romantic interest, right? Tell me about cutout. Yeah, this is with the Eight of Wands in the reverse. This is your person needing to cut off communication with third parties or anybody that could get in the way of this connection. This could also talk about your person wanting to delay that from happening, wanting to delay you guys from having to cut ties and go in opposite directions, because that's showing up under I'm afraid of losing you. So your person is coming through in the energy pile one of being willing to do what it takes to get themselves to a point where they're not behaving in ways, or they're not bringing emotional baggage into this connection that would force you guys to have to separate and go separate ways. They're feeling stuck with that though. But again, it's a delay. It's not so much a stuckness as it is a delay, because they are healing, okay? There could be some impatience though in your person's energy, because they could feel like they're on the verge of losing you. Tell me about I know we could work through this. That's showing up at the bottom of the deck. Five of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, they don't do very well when they're not with you. In separation, they don't do well in separation. Especially if either one of you or both of you are feeling disappointed about the way things are going or the way things are unfolding. They're wanting to work together with you to try to figure out maybe a way to meet each other in the middle somewhere. What else do we have? Where do you currently stand with them? Where does pile one currently stand with their person? Hand of Cards, Coffee Cup, yeah, Lightning. So you were, and that makes sense within the dynamic of a situationship or a friends with benefits or casual. You're still where you stand with them. They're still holding you at arm's length. They're still holding this connection at arm's length. You're still being seen as quote unquote just another option, right? They haven't fully closed the door on third parties yet. Okay? They're still associating risk, the risk of getting hurt. They're still associating maybe the fear of rejection to you in this connection. They're still associating pile one has the ability, if I fully invest in them, if I fully give pile one my heart, pile one is then going to have the power and the ability to hurt me. And that's the whole thing of your person keeping options open is twofold. Number one, again, it's that need for validation and attention, right? Stemming from an inner void, an abandonment wound, an attachment wound, all of the above. And it's keeping you at arm's length so that even now you have the ability to affect your person emotionally. You have the ability to hurt them to some capacity, but not in the way that you would if they were to completely bar off all other people and just go all in with you, right? You can hurt them now, but what they're saying is if they were to go all in, you could devastate them. if they were to do that, right? And so that's a couple of the motivations for your person keeping the door open to other options and not fully shutting the door to other people and third parties. Coffee Cup says meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted in friendship. So there's more, again, in the situationship dynamic, there's more of a focus on keeping things light, keeping things non-committal, focusing more on like the friendship part of it. But with lightning here, this is sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, and transformation. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have paradise. Okay, your person is certainly, definitely seeing the potential of how happy they could be. The only thing, though, is that, you know, your person is like in a perfect world where they would never have to worry about, you know, being abandoned, being left behind, being cheated on, being lied to, being manipulated, right? They can see like, oh, you got, the two of you would be very happy. But for them, at least at this point in time, you know, they're not living in a perfect world. And so again, they're listening more to the voice of fear than they are the voice of faith. And, you know, maybe looking back at a time when they felt like they had something they thought felt like paradise, and then what happened when that connection ended. That's the fear that they're hanging on to. And that could be, you know, the transformation. Let me find out what that's for. Clarify lightning, please. Tell me more about lightning. Oh yeah, the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Wow, they've gotten very clear about something. They're realizing how they're holding themselves back, how they're perpetuating heartache and heartbreak, and how what's coming through is what they've realized is how they're breaking their own heart, how they're going to end up breaking their own heart by not going all in with this connection, by not honoring their feelings for you, by keeping things between you casual when the feelings between you are anything but casual. They're starting to understand and realize that by trying to keep themselves safe from having their heart broken, and the way that they're doing that is keeping this connection casual, you're going to end up going somewhere else, right? Because you want something more than casual. And, you know, they're going to end up losing and being brokenhearted anyway. So there's an epiphany about that is currently happening, which is why we do have them showing up here with healing core wounds, right? Trying to heal the wounding that is keeping them, I mean, perpetually heartbroken. Tell me more about the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, the Five of Swords in the reverse. This is your person. Is this internal? This feels internal. Yeah, that is internal. This feels like your person, like, okay, I got to choose the lesser of two evils. And deciding maybe at some point that, you know, it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. And so at some point it feels like your person is leaning more towards having something more serious, more committed, more, you know, predictable with you versus keeping it casual, because they're understanding that they're going to end up losing you that way. And for those of you where you're okay with having something that's platonic, or having something that's more just friendship based, you know, should you go and meet someone else, your person, that's not what they want. They don't want something platonic. They don't want to be friend zoned, okay? But this feels like your person, like, I'm just going to have to choose the lesser of two evils. What they're starting to see is that the lesser of two evils is going to be committing to you, because the other one of that is losing you completely, and they are attached to you to the point of not being okay with that, not being okay with losing you, okay? They're not okay with losing you. But they're still And the energy that your person's in, though, it's still not a full-chested, whole-bodied yes towards commitment with you yet. If they were to choose you right now and be like, pile one, please commit to me, you know, be my special person, my one and only, it's stemming more from it's a lesser of two evils. It's like it's not there, it's coming from a space of like it's not really wholeheartedly what I'm wanting, but I'm more afraid of losing you than I am of fully committing myself to an actual committed exclusive relationship. They're afraid of both, but it's getting to be now where they're more afraid of losing you for good to someone else than they are, you know, maybe being hurt. I hope that makes sense. Okay, what else do we got going on here? Are there any third parties? Is pile one's person currently involved romantically, sexually with third parties? Let's get one more. No, there is not, but I will say they're not talking to anybody, but they haven't like thrown away like their little black book, if you know what that is, okay? They haven't deleted numbers, you know, it's almost like, no, they're not talking to third parties as what was reflected in the Seven of Cups reverse. They prefer you, but they're not so secure in this connection with you yet, in a commitment with you yet, that they feel comfortable enough to actually like throw away the little black book, erase, you know, those contacts and connections, or to, you know, remove those people from, you know, officially from their life yet. So we have, we got chill out. This says taking time out, waiting for things to cool, recharge. So for some of you, they just recently maybe have backed out of some of those connections, okay? There still could be tensions if they were involved in other third-party connections. This feels like they just recently disconnected from those, because there's still tensions there, okay? We have shelved, which says being put aside, deciding not to proceed, delaying action on something. So yeah, they're not moving forward with anybody else. In fact, whatever third-party connections they may have been dabbling in, or whoever they may have been connected to, they've put those connections, quote unquote, on the shelf. Okay, they shelved those connections, but they have not gone as far yet as to permanently disconnect themselves. They still have those people's contact numbers. They're still friends with them or connected with them on social media, things like that, okay? With online, we have online snooping, still not over you and secretly checking you out. Let me see what that's about. Is that about, yeah, that's still them being connected to these people, like, you know, on social media. Okay, tell me about snooping. Is this pile one's person snooping on third parties? Yeah, there's, okay. So your person still checks in, even though they're not actively like, even though they are not actively connecting to any third parties right now, they are still checking out maybe those third parties' social media pages. They're still connecting to those people, even if it's at a distance, okay? They're still checking those people out online. And so, you know, that's kind of giving me the energy of somebody maybe still being on like dating apps and still swiping, but not really having the intention to actually fully engage people. It's like window shopping, right? Because they haven't yet actually really chosen you and the connection. And so that door is still open. They still have an eye. You see, because that wounding is still there. They're still looking for validation. They're still needing attention or feeling like they need attention. Again, that need is being fueled by wounding. Okay, it's not because you're not good enough. It's not because, you know, you're not everything that they wanted. In fact, like I said, it doesn't matter who they come across. You're still their main number one preference. It's still you. Okay, and they're still having to heal wounding that is fueling your person's desire to want and or need validation from third parties. Let's see what's next. Okay, now we want to know whether or not they're going to commit to you. Pile one's person. Are you going to or plan to commit? Do you want to commit to pile one and pile one only? Oh, let's see. We have bumpy path. This is maybe. It says will not be easy. Lots of ups and downs. Your love will be tested. Let's get a couple more. Are you gonna? Do you want to commit? We got no. This is blinded. Yeah, there's a fear of commitment here that your person has overall. Let me get one more. Are you going to commit to pile one? We got, it's still up in the air because we got two maybes, because at the back of the deck we have friends. It says maybe. Friendship, having mutual friends, friends affecting your love life, but there's that friendship there coming out again. We have reunion. This is reconciliation, meeting halfway. There's that, yeah, meeting halfway, right? With blinded here, it says delusions, blinded by love, not seeing who they really are. That could be a fear that your person has. By keeping you at arm's length or arm's distance, and by not allowing you to be an everyday component of their life, or an everyday, you know, whatever relationship in their life. There's aspects of your person, pile one, that they feel that they may need to hide from you. There's shame coming through in that energy. There might be some things that your person doesn't want. There may be some things about them, pile one, that they don't want you to know about, like some skeletons in the closet kind of a thing that they're ashamed of, that they don't want you to see. That they're afraid that if you were to find out about those things, that you would see them differently. Things that if you were to know about them, that would maybe have you change your mind about wanting something more with them, or wanting a future, right? Maybe walking away from them altogether. Interference, something about interference coming through to the connection. Let me look at, what is it that you're not wanting pile one to see, that you're afraid of pile one seeing? What do you not, what skeletons in the closet, what monsters in the closet are you trying to keep pile one from seeing? Is the Five of Wands, is that talking about, yeah. Ooh, okay. There might be a connection in your person's life that has been in their life for a while. That could be an interference, okay? That could cause, and this is something that your person, yeah, this is something that's long-standing, something that they are deliberately trying to hide from you, keeping hidden from you, something that they're wanting to stay hidden. it doesn't necessarily have to be a connection. This could also be behaviors, right, that your person is wanting to keep hidden from you, that, you know, something that's been a staple in their life for a long time with the Seven of Pentacles here. This is something they've invested years into that is creating a barrier between the two of you. Again, it could be both. It could be a long-standing connection within their life that maybe they're not wanting to let go of, and they're feeling like if they were to commit to you, they would have to let go of that connection for some reason, and or again, it's some kind of a behavior, a way of living, a lifestyle change that they would have to make. Is this specifically a third party? Yeah, it's a third party. It is somebody that they may have had, and it could be that person that hurt them. They could still be connecting to that person. They could still be friends with that person. Something like that, okay? That's just a heads up for some of you. What else do we have here? Yeah, all right, pile one, that was your situationship pick a card love reading. I shouldn't say I hope that it resonated, but if it did, right, do me a favor, if you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below, let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you haven't already done so by subscribing, and don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And right as I'm closing this reading, all of a sudden things are getting really quiet. Okay, yeah, there's some interference. For many of you, it is in the form of a third party, somebody that your person has had a very painful ending with, that for some reason your person may not want to let go of, okay? That's there. All right, pile one, thanks so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Pile two, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We are doing another pick a card love reading. We're tapping in and channeling through your person's overall, let's see. This is for those of you that are in a situationship or a casual connection or friends with benefits. Okay, so we're going to be looking at a lot of things. We're going to be finding out your person's true and honest thoughts and feelings towards you. What kind of a future, if any, do they see, you know, for you in this connection? Do they love you, or do they have romantic feelings towards you? Are there any third parties? And if so, like, how do you compare? For those of you that want to know. And at the very end, we'll find out whether or not they have any plan or intention or a desire of committing to you and only you in this connection, okay? So tap in, you guys. This is a super detailed reading, so it'll be at least 30 minutes, at least. All right, so we're going to be here for a minute. Yeah, so just keep in mind it's a general, it's a collective reading, so whatever resonates, take it, run with it, do whatever you want. If something isn't resonating, just drop it, leave it behind for whomever, you know, that information might resonate for. I have personal readings available if you would like for me to exclude everybody else's energy and tap exclusively into you and your person's energy. All the booking details are in the description box. There are a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25. If you want something that's as in-depth as what we're going to go through here, go check out my reading called The Confusing Love Connection. A lot of the things that we'll be going over in this reading, we also go through in that personal reading. And there are now, again, I should say, payment plans available for those of you that need or appreciate payment plans. Okay, God, my words are just all over the place. You guys are drawn to the rough Amazonite and smoky quartz. Let's find out what your person's main default energy is towards you in the connection. So we have wishing well. We have the number 48, the number 12, or the number 3 coming through. And then we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse, the 4 of Pentacles, and then the 3 of Swords in the reverse. So your person may have met you, pile 2, during a time where they're in the process of healing with the Three of Swords in the reverse, okay? Let's find out what Wishing Well has to say. In the upright position, it says, desire is the sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. Damn, okay. That's it right there. That's pretty much it. So the desire for you in this connection is here, but they don't have any attachment to any kind of a specific outcome, or they're not looking for any specific outcome. This can be your person maybe open to, you know, because with, you know, yeah, there's no attachment to maybe something more committed, but there also isn't any attachment to something, to it staying casual. This is kind of like a, you know, they're not opposed to something more committed, but they're also not attached to it. Just like they're not opposed to having something casual, but they're also not attached to that as well. Okay, so this is let's see how things naturally unfold between me and pile 2. It's that kind of an energy. There's not a hard line yes or a hard line no to committed. Really, there's no attachment or any aversion. There's no attachment and there's no aversion to any kind of a dynamic here that your person is in. Although it says with, let's see, with the King of Pentacles showing up in the reverse and the Four of Pentacles, they may not just be in a space to be ready for something more committed right now, because we do have the Three of Swords energy showing up in the reverse. They're in the process of healing, okay? So that goes to show, like, pile 2, they're not opposed to having something more committed with you, okay? They could feel the need to maybe devote themselves or focus more on like their financial endeavors in life right now. Is this Three of Swords? Actually, we'll do this first. Let's get their thoughts and feelings to see how maybe this is their thoughts and feelings towards you in the connection. Pile 2's person, their honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 2 at this time. Pile 2's person, their honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 2 in the connection. Oh, okay. Let's see how this goes. Oh, okay. Let's get one more. There we go. Yeah, they're still healing. At the back of the deck, we have my heart belongs to you, okay? There, I can see the hiccups or where the bottlenecking is happening, okay? So we have the first card out, and it is actually favoring the side that says we aren't right for each other. Slightly, though. Slightly. Ever so slightly. I'm going to see maybe what's going on with that. And it could be as your person is healing that maybe they are starting to see maybe ways where you know they're feeling like you do belong together. What's this energy here? We aren't right for each other. What's that? Why is that? Tell me more about we aren't right for each other. Okay, is that more in favor of we belong together or we aren't right for each other? Okay, yeah, they're still looking at maybe some of the differences that the two of you have, maybe more focusing on some of the incompatibilities. Are these, yeah, they're currently kind of in the, what I'm hearing is they're in the habit of that. They're more focusing on maybe some fundamental core differences in like the way you guys live your lives, differences maybe in religion, political views, spiritual views, lifestyle differences, things like that. So this is saying, your person is saying they're not opposed to something more developing, you know, out of this connection between the two of you. They're not opposed to it, but they are looking at things very logically. This could be why your person is holding off on actually extending or putting more effort and energy into something more committed, is because they're looking at some fundamental core differences between the two of you. Some incompatibilities, okay? We have, let's see, the Lover's energy, that's Gemini, Virgo. We have the Queen of Wands, it's fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag. Yeah, they're putting more weight and more influences on your guys' fundamental incompatibilities or differences. We also have I'm not a safe space for you. Why is that? That could just be because they recognize they need more healing. Why do you feel you're not a safe space for pile 2? They could feel like they have some growing up to do. They could be very closed off and walled off when it comes to the heart space, especially with that Four of Pentacles. They withhold a lot of themselves back from this connection. That's another thing. Your person may feel like maybe your love language or your way of quote unquote doing love in relationships is fundamentally different than what they feel comfortable doing. Page of Cups could also, you know, pages could talk about children. Their children could have some kind of a role to play in this, whether or not, you know, there's so many different ways that could be. It could be that you have kids and they don't have kids, or vice versa. Maybe they want kids and you don't want kids, or vice versa. Maybe they feel like they're not good with kids, or they feel like maybe you're not good with kids, or something like that. There's something about children also coming through with that, but they're saying they're not a safe space for you because of that. So that's going to look like maybe, you know, if you want kids and they don't, they're like, okay, I don't want kids and pile 2 does, so I'm not a safe space. I can't give pile 2 what they want. Or if you have kids and they feel like they're not really all that great with kids, you know, or maybe they don't want to really seriously date somebody with kids, or vice versa, something like that. All right, for those of you that were that. But then we have I'm not a safe space for you, and right next to that says still battling addiction and inner demons. They are in the process of healing, and I'm even hearing that they're making progress with healing, but whatever that addiction and or that inner demon, whatever that battle is, it's still very much alive and well, okay? And this is them also saying they don't necessarily want to drag you into the middle of that, because you could be like, what do they call that, an innocent bystander, or a casualty of that inner war, that inner battle. Tell me more about the Four of Pentacles here. Yeah, there's the Queen of Wands in the reverse again. Is the Queen of Wands reversed? Is that a third party? No, that's not a third party. That might just be an energy. Is that pile 2 specifically? Your person could be very averse to energy to them that feels clingy or needy. The Queen of Wands in the reverse could just be talking about an energy overall. Your person, especially if they are somebody who is more on the avoidant attachment side of the scale, anything that feels too clingy to them, they could be like, no, they're withholding themselves back from that. And so, you know, they could be, if your energy is any way, shape, or form clinging to theirs, even if you're not acting out of that clinginess, their subconscious is still picking up on it, okay? So if you're constantly thinking or wondering what it is they're doing, who they're with, I wish they were with me, and just blah, 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 they're picking up on that. And it's kind of serving, and they're, you know, your person almost feels the need to protect themselves from being clung to or being needed. Your person could have an aversion to feeling, your person could have an aversion to needing to explain themselves, needing to give a play-by-play about what they're doing, who they're with, why they're blah, 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 you know, stuff like that. Okay. But again, the Queen of Wands in the reverse, that can just be an energy that feels the need to, and we even have possessiveness here. They could be highly averse to any kind of an energy or a relationship dynamic that makes them feel like they're being possessed or someone is being possessive with them, okay? Tell me more about still battling addiction and inner demons. Ooh, Page of Swords in the reverse. Page of Swords in the reverse, and then Ace of Wands. I'm specifically getting sex and or porn addiction with that, okay? If it's not necessarily an addiction to porn and or sex, then it's an addiction to just third parties in general. But specifically with the Ace of Wands here in the upright position and the Page of Swords, your person is trying to heal from like an addiction to porn or an addiction to sex, okay? Very specific on that one. To generalize it more, that just feels like more like needing or wanting to heal from the need to, they're always fishing for compliments, looking for validation, needing attention from third parties, okay? And that's why they're saying, you know, they don't feel or they know they're not a safe space for you if you're looking for something more monogamous, more exclusive, more committed, because they're healing or they're wanting to heal from some kind of wounding that derives a sex addiction or an addiction to third parties or an addiction to porn. Okay. With the Ace of Swords in the reverse, though, showing up at the back of the deck, they're not really quite sure how to go about doing that, but they do want to. The desire to heal is there. They don't like the fact that they crave that they crave attention and validation from third parties, or they crave sex from multiple people. This is your person understanding and realizing that they also have an inherent desire for monogamy or something more exclusive and committed, but that, you know, so in other words, they're not someone that would identify themselves as being open or polyamorous, because they know that to be true, because if they were to get into say like a committed relationship with you, they wouldn't want you having any third parties or having sex with anyone else, or, you know, being opening yourself mentally and emotionally, sexually, romantically to anyone else. Okay, so inherently your person is monogamous. They do want commitment, but they got something going on internally, and they're recognizing that this is something that they're consciously seeing. They're not a safe space for anybody within a monogamous relationship or a committed relationship, because they still have wants, needs, and desires that are being fueled by some kind of wounding, okay, that they're wanting to heal. Are they actually healing? Is that what that Three of Swords in the reverse is saying? Are they actually in the process of healing? Or is that just a desire? It's a desire at this point. They're not actually healing, okay? And there's actually some kind of anxiety, fear, and worry that's attached to that. Your person could feel like if they were to, and this is something that's coming through, especially if they've been in this energy for quite some time, your person actually is seeing like, if I don't get a handle on this or figure out how to heal this, whatever this addiction and or this inner demon, whatever that battle is, they're going to end up alone. Okay, so this is actually a fear that they have of not being able to heal that. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? We're going to be looking at what kind of a future do they see? What kind of a future do they see? We got trapped. What kind of a future are they seeing with pile 2 stringing along? Yeah, they don't, it's not optimistic. Again, they're not opposed to it. They're not opposed to something committed, but they're also not opposed to things staying casual either. And so, let's see. We have trapped. It says in an unpleasant situation, feeling stuck, not unable to escape from it. We have stringing along, giving false hope, selfish intentions being strung along. And then we have abundance showing up in the reverse, which says financial blessings. In the upright position, it says financial blessings, healthy money perspective, and financial independence. But again, it's showing up in the reverse. And so your person doesn't have a very optimistic outlook when it comes to a future. When they try to put this connection, like if they were to try to put it and see and forecast it somewhere in the future, it's either going to be more of the same of what you guys have. Anytime they do try to project a future where you guys might have something more committed, they start to feel trapped. They don't want to feel trapped. So I am kind of getting the sense of where your person is not opposed to seeing, you know, where things could go in terms of like seeing how a commitment between the two of you would play out. But even in that energy, they don't have the highest hopes that it's going to end up well. Okay. It just feels like when they look into the future and they, you know, forecast a future like for this connection, it doesn't look like it gets very far, whatever that is, okay? Let's look at stringing along. At the back of the deck, we've got depression. It says prolonged grief, hopelessness, pessimism. Yeah, when it comes to the, do they see a future with you in this connection? It says pessimism right there, okay? Your person could have an overall like running fear when it comes to commitment. You know, the energy they're in, they're like, yeah, I don't mind finding, like, maybe, okay, let's give this a try and see if, you know, what a committed exclusive relationship, monogamous relationship with pile 2 would look like. They're just not seeing it get too far, right, before things start to break down. Let's look at what's stringing along. Tell me more about stringing along. I'm hearing them say someone's going to get hurt. More than likely you, okay? So they're saying they would be, with the King of Wands clarifying the stringing along card, this feels like them saying they would be the one stringing you along, giving you false hope, having selfish intentions. This is them saying they would go along with it for as long as they could, but they're almost, if they are confident with anything when it comes to a future, it's like they're confident that it's going to come to an end sooner rather than later, okay? They can see, like, you guys are going to have a future, like you guys will have more of a future keeping things casual, keeping things in a friends with benefits or a situationship model than, you know, than the connection would if it were to be something more committed and exclusive, okay? Tell me more about abundance in the reverse. Tell me more about abundance in the reverse. Yeah. It wouldn't last that long. That's how your person feels anyway. They feel like a future, if they were to take this connection out of something that is casual into something more committed, it wouldn't last long at all, they're saying. And the fact that we do have the Six of Wands in the reverse here, this is them, they're not entirely sold on the fact that even though they're coming through saying that their heart belongs to you, they're not entirely sure that this is the connection. They're not entirely sure that this is the one. There's nothing here showing where, this is one of those things like pile 2, if that's what you want to do, I'll do it, you know, but they don't have any expectation or even optimism that it's going to last longer than maybe like 6 months in a committed. They're saying, you know, for them, they're saying that if, do you want quality or quantity? Because they're saying they'll give you quality, but they're pretty sure it's going to break down, you know, in a very short period of time. They're saying, like, if you want more time with them, if you want your guys' connection to last longer, than to keep it within the confines of something more casual and friends with the benefits and situationship. Let's see. Do they love you? Let's find out. Do you love and or have any romantic feelings for pile 2? Do you have any love and or romantic? Do your feelings for pile 2, are they deeper than casual? Yeah, there's love there. There is. There's love, and there's love and or there's romantic feelings, okay? I should say there's romantic feelings. The feelings that they have for you go deeper than something just casual, but your person is still very much head over heart. They're not, yeah, the feelings and the love is there, but they're not allowing themselves to be overtaken by it, and it almost feels like they're doing what they can to keep those feelings from going deeper. Their guard is down with you, right? And even with, you know, their feelings are there for the foreseeable future. They don't see their feelings going away. But there's something about, is this in general, or is this specific to pile 2? Hold on. It's in general. They have they got something with committed relationships. Your person may feel that they're not at this point in time, for whatever reason, like commitment material. They're not relationship material, something like that. Yeah, because again, it's going back to them saying they're not a safe space for you. And just overall, your person feeling like they're just not commitment material for anybody, not just you, okay? But yes, your person does have deeper feelings for you. I'm hearing very much so. They have deeper feelings for you. But even within that, they don't even want to talk about that for too long. There's even an energy here, pile 2, of your person, like they don't want you to get your hopes up. You know, they enjoy your company. They're saying they enjoy your guys' company. They enjoy your guys' bond. They enjoy what's there. But it's like, if you want it, and they're even, you know, it's one of those things. They're like, pile 2, if you want to, then yeah, let's go ahead and, you know, give it a try. Especially if it's something that you're like, it's an ultimatum. They're willing to try it out with you, but your person is almost certain that it's not gonna last longer than 6 months, okay, if you guys were to try something more committed. And they're seeing, the reason why they're saying that is because they're feeling like they're gonna let you down, or they're gonna fall short, or it's not gonna be what you thought it was, or something like that. They're gonna mess it up, is what they're saying. They're almost 100% certain they're gonna mess it up somehow. What else do we have? Where do you stand currently with them? Where does pile 2 currently stand with you? Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? Yeah, we got healthy choices, but it's showing up in the reverse. Where does pile, they don't feel like, yeah, they don't feel like they're a safe space for you. They don't feel like they're the healthy choice for you. They might see you as being a healthy choice for them, but they're not seeing themselves as a healthy choice for you, okay? In other words, they're like, the connection, like when they think about like what's the healthier option, keeping things casual between the two of you versus, you know, shifting things into a more committed thing, they're like, the healthier choice for both of you and for this connection is to keep it casual, okay? Let's get one more. Where does pile 2 currently stand with their person? Hand of cards, options. Keeping things casual, that's what they're saying, okay? Where you stand with them, they just feel like it's gonna work out best for the connection in general, just to keep things where they're at, keep them casual, keep them in a friends with benefits arena. Self-indulgence says, it's in the reverse, but in the upright position, it says focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. Yeah, they don't, sometimes, you know what, and if you told them that you want something more committed with them, they're almost questioning, like, why? Why do you because there's an energy here, pile 2. It's like, you know what you're getting yourself into with this person, so why do you want that? They might have told you about some of these inner demons that they battle with, or maybe even an addiction that they have, and they're like, knowing that about me, why do you want me? Why am I still someone, or why is this something that you want, right? So they're actually questioning where you're coming from, like why, and it's almost serving as like a reflection back onto you, especially if you know that your person is battling some kind of a drug addiction, or a sex addiction, or addiction to porn, or just an addiction to just third parties overall, or just an addiction to wanting to keep things in a casual connection. They're wondering why. Like, don't you have any self-worth? Don't you have, I'm just telling you, their thought process. It's like, why, they're coming from a space of thinking or believing like someone who has a really healthy sense of self-worth, somebody who has a solid sense of self-worth wouldn't want to be with somebody like that. And so they're wondering why you do, okay? Are there any third parties? Now we're going to get to the T. Are there currently any third parties? Pile 2's person, is Pile 2's person currently entertaining romantic and or sexual third parties, yes or no? We're going to do a 2 out of 3. We have 2 maybes, a no, and a yes, and the yes is showing up in the reverse. I still accept that as yes energy, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, if there is third parties, it's neither here nor there where your person's concerned. It's not anybody that they're feeling a soulmate or any kind of a bond with at all. If there are any third parties, they're giving that person very much a hard time, or those people, I should say, the third parties. Those third parties are getting ghosted. They're putting those people through things that are, a lot of ups and downs in those connections as well. There's just not a lot to it, and then shelved. Yeah, I mean, this isn't a definitive yes or no. What this is saying is, for those of you where your person is entertaining or actively entertaining romantic and or sexual third parties, number one, those third parties don't have their heart, you do, okay? Even though your person isn't honoring this connection in a way, or they're not showing up in this connection in a way that demonstrates that you have their heart, whatever third parties they might be involved with, they're getting nothing from your person, nothing. If it is, there's not even romance here. So if there are any third parties, there is no romance. Yeah, there might be kissing, there might be affection, there might even be sex and stuff like that, but it's not your person. It's not coming from your person from a romantic space. It's coming from a lust craving space. In other words, as soon as your person gets what they want from those people, romance is gone, because they weren't being, like, to me, when I read romance, for me, that includes like an actual energy of affection, love, bonding, and stuff like that. That's what romance is. And people can act romantic but not feel romantic. I hope that makes sense. And so whatever third parties your person might be dealing with, the minute they get what they want from that person, romance is gone, because it was never, motivated by love or bonding or connection to begin with. It was all lust or sexually motivated. Those third parties are getting ghosted. They're not getting any closure. A lot of them don't get any communication, and they get left on red. Okay, so for some of you, it's like, your person is dealing with third parties, and it's almost just for the purposes of, they keep those third party connections on the shelf, right? It's like a roster. They got a roster for many of you, but if your person were to look at any of the third parties, including you would be the one they say that has their actual heart. You're the one that they would be like, okay, if I were to commit to any of these third parties, it would be pile 2, right? But they're even like, okay, again, I won't go back into what we've already discussed, but yeah, that just is what it is. Let's find out now, are they going to commit to you? Are they going to commit? Alrighty, yeah, yes. Oh, we got yes across the board. Yes, again, they're not opposed to it at all. They're completely open to committing exclusively to you in this connection. Okay, we got passage here. Even at the bottom of the deck, we got 4 yeses. Even the bottom of the deck is a yes. Okay, you're the one they would commit to if it comes down to that. But your person is being very honest with their capability. They're like, yeah, you can get them in a commitment, but are they going to be able to maintain the commitment once they get into it? That's where they feel themselves falling short. And they're just being honest, at least energetically, they're being open and honest about what their capabilities are. Okay, it's one of those situations where they're like, they could get themselves into like maybe a brand new car or a nicer house, but they're looking at their resources and saying, I can get myself into one, but I can't maintain it once I get into it. Okay, they're saying, I got the down payment for this nice house. I might even have like the first 2 or 3 months of mortgage or rent in it, but after that, it's like they don't see themselves being able to maintain it once they get into it. They just don't have, at least right now, the resources, but they can see themselves committing to you. They can see it. They can see that the two of you would be able to build a really nice home together. That could be a physical material home. It could also just be the feeling of home, right? The mental and emotional feeling of home. And it even says here, you feel like home to them. Their home is with you. Their heart belongs to you. They already see that now. They can definitely see the possibility with passage. It says new possibilities, next chapter in love. They're like, if they were to ever take that next step with anybody, it would be with you. Okay. Let's see if we can nail down timing. We'll get the timing range. What's the range? Tell me timing range. They're saying they're open to doing that now. Let's see. You might have to bring it up though. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands coming out with the 3 of Pentacles. It's going to largely depend on you as to when this commitment actually launches, okay, becomes official, we'll put it that way. And while the Three of Pentacles is out, so that is talking about teamwork, partnership, working together towards a mutual goal. Something about you needs to initiate it, needs to start it, okay, needs to get the ball rolling. So that could be your person saying that you're going to have to be the one to bring up the conversation. You're going to have to be the one to get things going in that direction. Otherwise, you leave it to them. They're just going to remain passive and it's going to stay the way that it is, okay? All right, pile, let's see, 2, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If this did resonate, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you haven't already done so by smashing the subscribe button. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 2, I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, guys. What's going on, pile 3? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle. We're doing a Pick a Card Love reading. We are looking into those of you that are in like a situationship or are friends with benefits, or a more casual love connection with your person. Okay, we're going to dive in, look at a lot of different things. We're going to find out what their thoughts and feelings are towards you, what kind of a future they see with you when it comes to this connection, if any at all. We're going to look at if they love you or if there's deeper feelings for you that go beyond situationship or casual. We're going to find out where you currently stand with them. We're also going to get some tea, you guys. We're going to find out whether or not there are any third parties that they are currently active with. And if so, where their connection with you or where you might compare in those other, against those other connections, for those of you that care to know that, right? And then at the very end, we're going to find out whether or not the energy is present of your person committing to you and to the connection at some point. All right. So just keep in mind, you guys, it's a general reading. It's a collective reading. Anything that resonates, you can do whatever you want with it. Claim it if you want to. If something isn't resonating, just drop that. Leave it behind for whomever that information is resonating with. I do have personal readings available if you would like for me to exclude everybody else's energy and just tap in and focus solely on your energy and the energy of your person. Just check the description box below. All the booking details are there. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25. Now, if you want me to kind of do a really deep dive into you and your person's connection, check out the reading that I have. It's called Confusing Love Connection, okay? It'll be very similar to this one. Again, the link to that reading is down also in the description box, and there are payment plans available for those of you that prefer payment plans, or if you would appreciate, or if you need a payment plan, all right? You guys were drawn to the Spiritite, the Mexican Spiritite stone. Mined in Mexico. Okay, and let's find out what their main overall energy is towards you and towards the connection. Whoa, we got metamorphosis. We got the number 25, which breaks down into what, the number 7, okay? The number 7, so that could be a life path number. We also have the 9 of Cups. We also have the Moon in the reverse, and then the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. So we have, let's see, Pisces, Cancer energy showing up here. We also have the Wheel of Fortune, which for me, when it's in the reverse, is very fixed energy. So Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo showing up there. Let's find out what's going on with metamorphosis. In the upright position, it says, you are in the process of deep and beautiful change. All right, so whatever your person may have been, like their energy towards you, it's in the process of transforming, okay? And the fact that we have the 9 of Cups here, you know, clarifying their energy towards you, you're like wish fulfillment, okay? And so Yeah, let's see. It says butterflies earn their wings through great effort. The process of change is often painful, for it is never without losses and sacrifices. If you are to transform from one form to another, a part of you needs to die. Letting go is not easy, especially when you're used to thinking a certain way about your life and how you live it. Just as a snake sheds its dead skin or a caterpillar dies so that a butterfly can be born, you're required to release your old ideas and embrace a necessary change so you can live your best life. Perhaps you're being asked to let go of low self-worth, or a dream that no longer serves you, or a relationship that is draining, or unhealthy habits. Despite your fear, you must accept that this is a transformational time for you. There will be some loss involved, but you'll love what you become. Okay, so yeah, if there was any resistance, there still is some resistance to this metamorphosis. I feel like, and I'm having a difficult time finding the words to put into words what your person, like what their thought process is. They are leaning more towards you and towards this connection, though. The metamorphosis, because this is talking about their overall default energy towards you and towards their connection with you. So their feelings and or their energy towards the connection itself is in the process of changing, of transforming. And with all these other cards that are here, especially with the Nine of Cups opening up, right? Or opening up, clarifying the main card, they're seeing you as very much as wish fulfillment, very emotionally fulfilling to them. Okay, they really enjoy themselves when they're with you, but there is some resistance towards this metamorphosis energy that is showing up with the Moon in the reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Okay, there's something with your person that's kind of delaying or kind of getting in the way of this metamorphosis, or this is saying that whatever fears and illusions that your person may have had, or whatever was getting in the way of this metamorphosis, is being dealt with. This feels very karmic, okay? Not in a bad way. We'll find out. Let's find out what their overall thoughts and feelings are towards you and towards the connection. We'll see if your person is getting in the way, or if that is just speaking about things are being pushed out of the way that may have been blocking or delaying progress in this connection. All right, let's see what's going on here. One more shuffle. Tell me pile three's pile three's person, what is their honest thoughts and feelings towards pile three and the connect? I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's get a couple more. You got me over my ex / the third party. You'll hear from me soon. And at the bottom of the deck, we have depression is kicking my ass. Okay, so, where's my clarifying deck? All right, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Is that... is that truth or fear? Okay, this could be saying that they're not there yet. There is love there, but it's not yet to a point where they're in love, okay? So let me see, is the potential for it falling in love, is that there? It's there. Yeah, the potential for your person to fall in love with you is definitely there, okay? It's just they're not there yet. Is this them kind of getting in the way? Like, I feel like they got to grow into it, especially because we do have the Page of Wands clarifying that question, whether or not, you know, if that was just fear, or like if it's a projection, or again, what it feels like is like the potential for that is there. The connection itself may not be developed enough. Like, they do love you, and it could get to a space where they fall in love with you. It just hasn't reached that part yet. It's not there. It's in its infancy here with the Page of Wands, okay? The potential for that is there. Let me look at one more thing, you guys. Yeah, they're actually kind of, especially for those of you where you've been doing this friends with benefits or situationship or a casual connection with for your person for some time, they've had a hand in keeping themselves from falling in love, okay? That might be why we have this metamorphosis energy here, because again, you're coming up as wish fulfillment. This connection is coming up as wish fulfillment with your person. Feeling content, feeling satisfied. There's definite depth here and some kind of emotional richness. There's an abundance here, okay? So the potential and the possibility for that is there. Your person has been kind of getting in the way of them falling in love, okay? But the makings of that are there. The potential for that is there. We also have You Got Me Over My Ex / the third party. Anything to add for that? Yeah, with your help and with the help of this connection, it's like they found themselves again, okay? They may have been stuck or hung up on an ex for a while, and or what that ex or that third party may have done to them, but you got them over that. Let me look at depression is kicking my ass. Is that an energy that is still active, or is it weakening? Is it leaving? It's still active. It's in the background, but it feels like, it still feels like it's weakening, okay? Okay. This feels, let me double check. Is that depression is kicking my ass? Is that linked to this third party ex situation? Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah. So your person and I, you know, maybe at a time when you met them, they were still kind of hung up on an ex, okay? But they are letting go of that. This isn't probably something that they've communicated to you with the High Priestess here. This could have been somebody that they were with for years, okay, a long time. Or it could have just been somebody that they could see forever with. They could see building, you know, or having forever or marriage commitment, building a legacy with, okay? But you got them over that. Whatever depression, it's like it's weakening. It's on its way out. They're feeling more like themselves, and your person is like, they have you to thank for that. You kind of helped, you helped give them whatever it was that they needed to really put the past in the past, okay? Tell me about you'll hear from me soon. Oh yeah, they're missing you, because that's being clarified by the Nine of Cups in the reverse. They're wanting their dose of you. They're wanting some of you. They're wanting your energy. They're wanting whatever it is that you bring to the table that makes them, you know, in this Nine of Cups in the upright position. Without you, they're in the Nine of Cups in the reverse, okay? There's a couple of different things, like, you know, it could be where whatever it is they might, because the Nine of Cups in the reverse can talk about self-indulgence, right? Overindulgence even. And so to them, it's like they may have been chasing this Nine of Cups energies in various different ways in your absence, but it's not the same. To your person, it's like it's counterfeit. Yeah, it might give them a little bit of a buzz, but it's nothing compared to what they feel like. The Nine of Cups energy with you is authentic. It's real. It's the real thing, and they can feel that. Whatever it is that they might get from other connections, or just, you know, other ways, whether it's partying, third party connections, whatever, right? It's not the same. It's a counterfeit. It's just a buzz. It's not, you see what I'm saying? It's not actual contentment. It's not actual fulfillment. It's not even, you know, it's not a long-term satisfaction. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, they're saying that they're definitely going to be reaching out to you because that Nine of Cups energy, when they feel that weakening, right? They come to you, they come to this connection for actual fulfillment. When? Let's see if we can nail down when. Actual timing. Show me timing. Not circumstantial stuff. Show me actual timing. We'll get circumstantial after that. Show me an actual timing. Okay. Heavy on fire sign seasons. Okay. Heavy on fire sign season. It could be anytime within like the next 5 days to 5 weeks, especially if those 5 days or 5 weeks fall within, you know, a fire sign season. This is a timeless reading, but the time that I'm recording this, we're right on the cusp of Cancer, Leo, okay? Today's what, the 23rd? It could be, I don't know, or is it the 24th? We could already be in Leo season. So yeah, anytime within the next 5 days to the next 5 weeks, okay? Especially for those of you that are in a fire sign season right now. Let's see what situational. Let's see, is this talking about a third party? Oh, okay. For many of you, there could be a third party, a specific third party involved, okay? That could be too with this metamorphosis energy, especially if, you know, that third party is somebody that they might still have responsibilities to, like if they have kids, or if they, you know, have shared assets or belongings that they still need to separate, things like that. All right. What else are we looking at? Do they love you? Do they have feelings for you? Yes or no? Do you have feelings and or love? They do, but it feels compromised. They do have feelings for you, but it feels compromised. Why is this compromised? What's compromising these feelings or this love? Letting go? Needing to let go of something or someone else? Or another dynamic or another relationship possibly, especially with that Four of Wands that's there. For those of you where it is a specific third-party situation, what's getting in the way is maybe their reluctance to let go or wrap up another cycle. That could be why that Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse. It's like the next chapter with you in this connection cannot go any further until they close out another chapter with somebody else. Okay, that might be why they're choosing to keep things between you so casual, is because there's still another open connection that they're dealing with. It does feel specific. It doesn't feel like third parties in general. It feels like there's another third party active in your person's life right now that they need to close up. They need to wrap up that chapter, and then they can move things in this connection forward. Okay, this almost doesn't feel, this connection feels like it's casual, almost out of necessity, right? because there is an interfering third party here somewhere. We'll find out what that is, okay? So yes, there's love here, there's feelings here, romantic feelings, deeper feelings, right, than what the dynamic itself lends to. Let's find out where you currently stand with them. Pile 3's person. Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? Oh, they love you. There you go. That answers that question. Unequivocally, it says unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, and attraction. Yes, your person loves you, pile 3. They do love you, okay? It's right there, unconditional love. There's something coming through about you and your connection with them being able to do what they haven't been able to do them for themselves, or hadn't been other connections weren't able to do for them as well. You got them over an ex. You got them over a third party. You got them over the past. You got them in a space where they actually want to move on. They actually want to close the door on the past, okay? Specifically with an ex or a third party, okay? You got them, you helped to get them to that space where they actually want to move on and put that person behind them and move on for real, fully, okay? Let's get a couple more. Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? Yeah, they love you and they like you, okay? So this says someone likes you, romance is blooming. Yeah, that's why we have the I love you. It's like that part is growing, the love is growing, romance is blooming. They want to date you for real. They want to take you out on dates. They want to date you. They want to court you. That's what it means, like want to date, like in the context of here. Yes, they want to date you, but it's like court you. They want to take you out on dates. They want to make memories with you. They want to have fun with you. They want to spend more quality time with you. They actually want to build on what you guys have. They want more of it, okay? But this is also saying like they genuinely enjoy your guys' time together, okay? A lot of times people get into relationships or dynamics with people that they really don't even like. Like if it wasn't for the attachment, if it wasn't for like the toxic attachment, they wouldn't actually even like them. Like they wouldn't actually be friends with that person if they weren't romantically and sexually connecting with them, right? And the reason why this might be coming out is your person might be noticing that. They might notice how they enjoy spending time with you, whereas maybe they're noticing that they didn't really enjoy the time that they spent with that other person, Let's get another one. Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? Okay, so we have needs time, takes time, time to heal. Yeah, and then of course that's coming out right on top of the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. There's a timing issue here. Okay, for many of you, it has to do with your person needing to wrap up some kind of a karmic cycle with an ex. Okay, so we have at the bottom of the deck says boat. It says receiving what you need, progression, moving on, and closure issues. Yeah, they want to move things forward in the connection with you, and I feel like that's what's in the process of happening. Things are kind of being arranged, both by your person, but also, just by the universe itself, kind of rearranging things, giving your person what your person needs in order to wrap up that karmic cycle with someone else so that they can move forward in life, and both forward in life and with you and in this connection, okay? But let me double check. Tell me more about boats. Yeah, judgment. Boom. There you go. This is your person. things needing to be, your person is basically needing and they're wanting, okay, to make a very decisive choice. We'll get to that part when it comes to the third party, but yeah, this is let's get to that. Let's see where we at. Yeah, now we're gonna find out whether or not there's any third parties active. I should say active. Is pile three's person currently active romantically and or sexually with any third parties? This is the T, you guys. We're going to find out if your person is currently romantically and or sexually active with any third parties. Again, I'm just picking up on one, but we'll see. All right, what do we have here? We got taste joy, but it's showing up in the reverse. I still accept it as a yes, but there's something about that. We'll see what else comes out. Is pile three's person currently active sexually and or romantically with someone else, with any third parties? Yes or no? 2 out of 3. Oof. Not necessarily messy. I would say, okay, they are still... All right, so we have taste joy in the reverse, so that's a yes. I'm still reading it as a yes. And then we have a no, it says would chill out. And then we have maybe was shelved. And at the bottom of the deck, we have rainbow with yes, but it says don't lose hope, be like the rainbow, rainbow after the storm. This feels like your person in the process. This feels like a yes, but it's not in the way that you think, okay? So it's like yes, they're still kind of romantically, maybe some way, shape, or form, sexually, romantically active with a specific third party, but it feels like it's at the very tail end where they're wrapping things up, okay? So I don't want to say definitively that they are or are not still romantically and or sexually linked to that third party, because we do have chill out, right? We also have shelved. So things in that connection, if there is still like sexual or romantic components to that connection, it's scaled back very much. In fact, it's like it's been put on a shelf, it's chilling out, there's no heat there. This almost feels like the answer to that question, if it is a yes, it feels like it's a yes only because they're still dealing with that person in the process of ending that connection and wrapping things up. It doesn't feel like it's a connection that they can just cut off and walk away from easily, okay? There's some things that they're needing. There's a process of wrapping up that connection, okay? So for the most part, pile, there's overlapping here. They don't want to be with that third party anymore, but there still feels like there's still some kind of like business that they need to tend to that involves a third party, okay? It's not a definitive, really, it's not a definitive yes or no if they're still romantically and or sexually engaging with that person. It just feels more or less like it's the kind of dynamic where they're having to deal with that third party because they got kids together, they got to go through a divorce, they got to move out, they got to separate assets, they got to separate belongings, things like that, okay? And I'll be honest, you know, there is some energies here because it does feel a little bit messy, not too much, okay? But there might be, you know, there might be some closure issues that if you were to hear in on some of those like conversations that they were having might feel triggering to you or inappropriate, because they could be talking about, you know, wishing things could have been different, blah, 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 right? But just know that, you know, there's unconditional love that they have for you. You're their wish fulfillment with the Nine of Cups there. And they're in the process of transforming. You already got them over the hardest part. You got them completely over their ex. But of course, when you're wrapping things up, there could still be some messiness. I hope that makes sense. All right. So now what we're going to do is find out whether or not they're going to commit to you. Is pile 3's person going to commit to pile 3? Did we ever do if they see a future with you? I don't see the cards out. We still have to do that. Okay, we're not done yet. I skipped one. My bad. Will pile 3's person commit to pile 3? We already got a couple of no's here. We got 2 no's and a yes, and the yes that we got says thief. Ooh, okay. Bottom of the deck, it says climbing up. It's a yes. Out on the board, we've got 2 no's and a yes, and then at the bottom of the deck, we have another yes. And so, let me see what we got here. We got admiration. It says, can do no wrong, put on a pedestal, inferior, superior relationship. There's still an imbalance here, okay? With unawake, it says sleeping on love, failing to notice the bond, unaware of their love. And then we also have thief, experiencing loss, worry and frustration, and the love is crumbling. Why is it, all of this, it still feels like it's not going to end up in a commitment quite yet. Or maybe even for the foreseeable future. On the back of the deck, it says ascending, okay? It says ascending love, raising to a higher level, love to the next level. This almost feels like it's a yes, they are going to commit, but there's still going to be quite a bit to get to that point. Okay, let's find out what they see as far as the future for you guys go. Pile 3's person. What do they see for their future with pile 3? Do they want or see a future with pile 3? Oh, that might be why. And I'll see if that is in relation to what they fear would happen between you, or if that's what they're feeling needs to be done before they can even do that, okay? Let's get a couple more. Does pile 3's person want or see a future? Yeah. They see a future, but they see more problems than they do success, okay? Let me look at the bottom of the deck. We've got ghosting. It says abrupt ending, no closure, and ending all communication. They're kind of looking at your guys' connection as if it's going to end disastrously for some reason. Divorce, alimony, is that what they're projecting for their connection with pile 3, or is that talking about a past connection? Okay. They're having a hard time seeing past, because especially if it has to do with divorce and alimony or something like that, where they have divorce, where they have to legally get divorced and or they have kids. They're having a hard time seeing past that. Especially if they're getting a lot of pushback from, you know, their ex or the third party. Tell me about bad intentions. Tell me more about bad intentions. When they think about a future with you, all they are able to really see are the problems, the obstacles, things eventually ending. And they really can't, for some reason, they're having a hard time getting past that. So that's kind of a block that's needing to be worked through. And maybe that's why we do have clock with needs time. Because at this point in time, especially if they are going through an active divorce, separation, parting of ways with someone else, especially if it's someone that they've had, if they have a lot of shared assets with, kids with, if they've had a lot of time invested into that, that's pretty much where they can't see past that. They're having a hard time seeing past that for some reason. Tell me more about bad intentions. Yeah. What's the Four of Swords in the reverse? This feels like them trying to hold off on a Ten of Cups energy between the two of you. They can see the possibility, but the reality of it seems far away. Okay? They can see the possibility of happily ever after with you and in this connection, but for some reason, it just doesn't seem like it's... They see the possibility, yes. Likelihood of it actually ending up as a happily ever after is a no, right? Why is that? Their faith in it is not, they may question their ability. They may feel like they would be an issue. They might see themselves as a red flag, or their behaviors as a red flag, or something like that. Tell me more about all around them. All around them says, can't escape connection, telepathic experiences, your love haunts them. Is this talking about their connection with pile 3 or their connection with the ex? Okay, this is you. Yeah, this is their connection with you. They're not giving up on it. It's just they're not optimistic when it comes to a future, though, but they don't want to give up on it. They don't want to give up on the hope of it. But if they're being honest, and if they were telling you their honest, true thoughts and feelings when it comes to them, you know, perceiving having like this connection, having the kind of future that maybe you're wanting it to have, they don't feel like it would be very promising. Like, yeah, you guys can get into, you know, that a connection, but can you guys maintain it? When they look at a future, they're projecting failure. Like the two of you would end up having to break up for some reason. If you guys were to get married, they're already like, what's the divorce going to be like? It's that kind of a thing. Because you are the energy that they're feeling haunted by, that's almost what they're feeling like. You're going to be someone else that they're going to end up feeling haunted by. Someone else that they're not going to be able to, like maybe they're having a problem feeling like they're going to measure up, or they're going to be able to meet your expectations. And because of that, you might end up leaving, or this connection might end up dissolving, and they're going to be left feeling haunted by you in the same way that they have been feeling haunted by like that third party or the ex that they're currently wrapping things up with. All right, pile 3, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a moment, if you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. It's also it makes YouTube happy, which keeps my channel and my videos on top of the algorithm, which makes me really happy. Okay, comment below, let me know that you picked this pile, let me know how it resonated. If you haven't become part of the family, you can do that by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile 3, I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye guys.